My presentation will be about Cedefop, our corporate values and multi-annual objectives, how we support EU policy through strategic areas of operation, and some selected findings of our work if we have time. And I shall, of course, be happy to share answers to your questions. Cedefop has been around since 1975, and I have to click so that you see it. Promoting and understanding VET systems, skills and labor market intelligence is our task, and we're also working for and with the stakeholders. And, of course, we're collaborating with our sister agencies that are on this podium today. We support policy, shaping the Copenhagen process. We are within the ET 2010 and also 2020, shaping the VET policy agenda. Following an external evaluation back in 2007, we are also even stronger now established as a policy supporting role. We are recognized as a center for quantitative and qualitative policy-relevant research in VET for young people and adults, and also as a provider of intelligence and skills and qualifications. There's an increasing value of our work now through knowledge brokering, where we bring together the various players and help them shape their respective tasks. Our founding regulation has been changed or adopted, the new one in 2019, and it's now also has a formal recognition for certain tasks that we have been performing for quite a while, in particular in the field of labor market and skills intelligence and qualifications. We are value-based and objective-driven. As you can see here, our DNA is to support policy objectives with reliable and trusted evidence and in an efficient and compliant manner. Our multi-annual objectives are balancing the development of evidence and new knowledge, monitoring policies and developments, and acting, as I said already, as a knowledge broker connecting countries and stakeholders. We work in line with ET 2020, Bruges Communiqué, Copenhagen process. I mentioned all of this, so that's more backward-looking, but let's look ahead. Here, of course, the vision of VET in 2030 is of paramount importance. There is already a proposal or a vision adopted by the Advisory Committee on Vocational Training, the ACVT. And, of course, there is the upcoming new VET strategy. And next to the more familiar digital transformation as one key topic, also the European Green Deal will now trigger a lot of activities in the VET community. Green education, green skills, green jobs. In particular, upskilling and reskilling, and of course updating the skills agenda and the youth guarantee. Last but not least, we're also supporting the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Here we're looking how VET can be instrumental in supporting those, and this goes beyond targets or goals number 4 and 8, which are the obvious ones geared to education. Our strategic areas of cooperation you see here are shaping VET, valuing VET, and informing VET. As we have limited time, I would not dig that much deeper at this point in time here, because this has been our three main areas for quite a long time. As I said already, labor market intelligence is gaining particular importance here. I want to share, however, also some figures with you. Hopefully from these you can see, while it's not always straightforward to show the impact, but as we are a research organization, of course, we count the quotes. You can browse through these numbers here. They're quite impressive, I believe. And if we say that we are cited in EU policy documents, we mean, of course, documents from the Council, the Commission, the Parliament, and also the EU social partners. And if we speak about international organizations that cite us, it's the likes of the OECD, ILO, UNESCO, and others. In terms of budget and budget execution, you see our numbers down there. We have a particular interest that you, as being instrumental in providing budgets, support us. Cedefop, even though it is a so-called cruising speed agency, suffered a last-minute cut for 2020 of 300,000 euros just before Christmas, and we hope that this does not happen too often again. We also communicate our results, and that's what I want to share with you in particular, because we also have a wonderful briefing note that looks like this. It's on the desk out there. Grab one fast, you know, limited edition. No, seriously, but it's a briefing note. It relates to those items you see on the right-hand side here, where we do our publications, which are descriptions of vet systems, cross-national overviews, in-depth thematic reports, policy reviews, research publications, our own magazine with a wonderful name, Skill Set and Match, methodological guides about forecasting, foresight, tracer studies, etc. So the whole trove of expertise of Cedefop is available through our publications. But what I want to highlight, because I'm particularly proud of it, is what you see on the left-hand side of the slide, that we are now increasingly trying to provide evidence via online tools. Currently we have 12 of these that you see here with their icons on our homepage. Latest additions in 19 and 20 were and will be the Vet in Europe database, which is kind of a systematic approach for presenting vet programs, how qualifications are developed, incentives in the system, guidance arrangements, other characteristics of the vocational training system. Also a nice tool on financing apprenticeship through a database here, also our matching skills a tool, and the skills online vacancy analysis, which is our big data tool, are all accessible via our homepage. Before, we also adopted in 2018 and earlier years the skills forecast, the European Skills Index, database on apprenticeship schemes, an opinion survey on vet, and other resources for guidance. So for us, the aim is clearly to make it much easier to access the wealth of information that we have in Cedefop, and I really ask you to check it out. It's really cool. I wanted, and as time is running, also to share a few results, but I'm going to skip them, and I'm happy to speak with any one of you later bilaterally. We've done some labor market trends and on demographic effects that I could have shared, but I'm skipping this. I'd rather highlight here on skills shortages, which actually we believe will constrain EU capacity to invest. And there's a conflicting assessment about the incidence and causes of skills shortages, but surely skills shortages are thought to increase labor costs, lower firm-level productivity, raise structural unemployment, and slow down growth. Therefore, the availability of scarce skilled staff is also most commonly cited as a long-term barrier to investment by companies. So definitely a topic to observe. You see here on the right-hand side that those shortages are more felt by a certain subset of the industry, in particular in SMEs, innovative firms, growing firms, then firms in the construction and manufacturing sector, and those firms that anyway have difficulties in accessing financial markets. Time is running, so I'm jumping again. This is very interesting, but I'll leave that to discuss with you maybe later. I'd rather like to move on to, whoops, now I jumped too far, to crowd work. Just, I'm not going to take you through it, but we have a crowd learn study, and we will try with our sister agencies to organize an event for you guys on the 19th of March, a lunch, where we will particularly look into platform economy and crowd work. So also I'm skipping this one, it's also crowd related, and rather look at our wonderful temple, maybe as my final statements here. From our analysis on online vacancies, we know that dealing with change is the most wanted skill across different occupations and sectors. We produce insights so that citizens can develop skills and cope with transitions and navigate jobs and careers, one of Cedefop's major contributions, we believe, to the EU's ambitious targets for the next decade. We have a strong focus on the skills that help achieve the digital and green transitions and on transversal employability skills. We approach these as strongly connected, and key to our work is promoting policies, tools, funding mechanisms, and broad access to VET. There are two movements on this slide on the right and left-hand side. So in one direction, we're informing policy developments and implementation. In the other direction, we are using the insights to shape the policy agenda actively. And with this and sort of an outlook on our activities in 2020 that you see here, but where I guess, unless you give me 2 more minutes, it will be limited. But here you see skills intelligence, skills development, and of course monitoring VET policy implementation and developments is very dear to our heart and central to our mission and vision. So thank you very much for listening, and questions later, of course, highly welcome. Thank you so much.